to Storytime. The story I chose today is Where the Wild Things Are, and I chose this particular book because it has a lot of jungle imagery in it, a lot of animals and trees, and with all the rain we've had recently, it feels like we're living in a rainforest where wild things usually are. So I hope you enjoy the story. The pictures are absolutely incredible. It won the Caldecott Medal because of the artwork, so I hope you enjoy the pictures as well as the story. So here is Where the Wild Things Are. The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind, and another. His mother called him Wild Thing, and Max said, "I'll eat you up." So he was sent to bed without eating anything. That very night, in Max's room, a forest grew. And grew, and grew until his ceiling hung with vines, and the walls became the world all around. And an ocean tumbled by with a private boat for Max, and he sailed off through night and day. And in and out of weeks and almost over a year to where the wild things are. And when he came to the place where the wild things are, they roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. Till Max said, "Be still," and tamed them with the magic trick of staring into all their yellow eyes without blinking once. And they were frightened and called him the most wild thing of all. And made him king of all wild things. And now, cried Max, let the wild rumpus start. Now stop, Max said, and sent the wild things off to bed without their supper. And Max, the king of all wild things, was lonely and wanted to be somewhere where someone loved him best of all. Then all around, from far away, across the world, he smelled good things to eat. So he gave up being king of where the wild things are. But the wild things cried, "Oh, please don't go. We'll eat you up. We love you so." And Max said, "No." The wild things roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. But Max stepped into his private boat and waved goodbye. And sailed back over a year and in and out of weeks and through a day. And into the night of his very own room, where he found a supper waiting for him. And it was still hot. So that's the story of where the wild things are. Do you remember at the very beginning of the story, Max kind of backtalked to his mother, and so she sends him to his room without supper? Okay, one of the morals of the story, be good to your moms. Don't backtalk to your moms or your dads. Parents are very, very important, so be respectful of them and love them. It is not easy being a parent. It's very difficult. And someday, if you grow up and it's God's will that you get married and have a family, you are going to find out just how difficult it is to be a mom and a dad. So remember where the wild things are. Remember not to backtalk to your parents and to show them some respect. I continue to miss you all. I love you all very much. So on the count of 3, we'll conclude with the fist bump. 1, 2, 3. See you tomorrow.